welcome to the channel. Welcome. If you're new here, make sure you subscribe, you like, you turn on your notifications so that you're alerted each time we upload a new video on this channel. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for being here. You're very much loved. So today is Reach Out Fridays. Reach Out Fridays, where we usually talk about things that will empower us in and out so that we can reach out to others more. So let's get into today's video. Today I'd love to talk about a topic that we usually think about, that we usually talk about with our friends and with our close associates and all that. Yeah, finding the right one to love me, to love you. Finding the right one to love me or to love you. But finding the right person to love me, I should look at myself, because the way we create relationships is a function of our subconscious. What is at the back of our minds? That is how we create relationships. Well, I created relationships based on what I knew and what I saw. Based on what I saw from childhood, growing up and all that. So creating relationships usually is a function of our subconscious, what's at the back of our mind, what you have seen, what you have known. Which brings me to this question. Is what we have known, what we have seen, okay? Is it okay? Is it right? Well, I don't know. And yes, exactly. When you don't know what the problem is, you cannot solve it. When you don't know what the problem is, you cannot solve it. So, to the question, why can't I find the right one to love? Or why can't I find the right person to love me or to love you? Well, it's simple. You cannot find the right person, or you cannot find the problem of finding the right person to love if you really don't know what the problem is. Because you sit there asking yourself, why can't I find, why can't I find, why can't I find, why can't I find? Well, you cannot solve the problem of finding the right one if you don't know what the problem is. So then, what could be the problem? What could be the problem? Is it the things we've seen growing up? Is it the things we've known growing up? Well, I don't know. So, for me personally, I would say we can't find the right one simply because we believe it is someone else. I don't know if that is making sense. We can't solve the problem of finding the right one because we believe it's somebody else. And that what we should look for in a relationship comes from outside. We can't find the right one simply because we believe everything is in whole with us. Remember, believing that everything you should look for in a relationship is coming from outside is also believing that everything is in whole with you. But beloved, you are the right one. You are the right one. So until you believe that you are the right one, you will continue to attract people who are a walking demonstration of your subconscious. What's at the back of your mind? You'll continue to attract those people. And it's not just about the guys or the men. It's also the friendships or the relationships we create with our female friends, the relationships we create with our co-workers, the relationships we create with our associates and all that. It's also about that. So always be alert. So, despite what has been stated already in this video, for you to really see what the problem is, take time out. Take time out, be on your own, reflect on you, think about you, reflect about the past relationships, about the things that occurred in those relationships, or why in the first place you even entered in those, or you created those relationships, and the toxic things that now you have realized were not good for you. So you reflect about that, you think about that, you analyze, and you line out the common errors or what might have led you to be in those relationships or toxic relationships. So take time out and think about you and think about the relationships that you have created. Are they as a result of the function of your subconscious? Are they as a result of the things you have known growing up, the things that you have known through society, or the things that you have experienced? Are they as a result of that? Does that mean that the relationships that you make from now going forward will be okay or will be perfect? I can't guarantee that, because sometimes people can be mean, sometimes people can be disrespectful, sometimes people can be people. So the question still comes back to you. What are they doing in your life? Why are you attracting the same type of personalities in your life? What are they still doing in your life? What void are they feeling in there? What void are they feeling? What are you learning from those things? What have you learned? So it's all up to you to analyze and recognize the toxicity of certain things. Sometimes it's the trauma that you experienced as a child that can be reflecting in the way you create relationships. Sometimes it's the setting, the setup of your family, what you experienced in your family can also be transferred to how you now create relationships. So make sure you learn from certain things, because all things are lessons that God will have us learn. And the moment you see yourself as a whole, the moment you see yourself as perfect, the moment you see yourself as you love yourself, you respect yourself, that moment the one ordained to love you will be there. The one ordained to love you for you will be there. And always remember, to be separate from God is to be separate from love. I hope you've got some sense from all these things that I've said here. I really hope you've got some sense, and let me know what your thoughts are. Who is the right one? Is it the other person? Are you looking to outside sources to make you whole? Well, beloved, you are the right one. You are the one to nurture you. You are the one to take care of you. You are the one to love and respect you. Ultimately, the one ordained for you will show up. So, until next time, mushale wino.